Have you ever stopped and really questioned why people follow the crowd, not just online, not just trends, but in real life? Why people agree even when they don't believe? Why they stay silent even when something feels wrong? Why they follow even when it leads nowhere? And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you think you're different, if you think you're immune to it, you're probably not. Because this isn't about intelligence. It's not about confidence. It's about something much deeper, something built into you from the moment you were born. And once you understand it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Part 1. The need to belong. Every human being shares one powerful instinct. The need to belong. Not want, need. Because thousands of years ago, belonging meant survival. If you were part of a group, you were protected. If you were rejected, you were alone. And being alone meant danger. So your brain adapted. It learned to prioritize acceptance over individuality. Fast forward to today. You're no longer being hunted. You're no longer fighting for survival. But your brain hasn't evolved as much as you think. That same fear of rejection still exists. It shows up in subtle ways. The way you hesitate before speaking, the way you adjust your opinions in a group, the way you sometimes agree just to avoid conflict. You might not notice it, but it's always there, quietly influencing your decisions, because deep down, your brain would rather you be accepted and wrong than rejected and right. Part 2. Social proof, the invisible force. Now let's go deeper. Imagine you're in a new place. You don't know what's good, what's safe, what's right. So what do? You look at others. You observe. You copy. This is called social proof. It's your brain's shortcut for decision-making. Instead of analyzing everything from scratch, it assumes if everyone else is doing it, it must be correct. And in some situations, that works. But here's where it becomes dangerous. Social proof doesn't measure truth. It measures popularity, which means something doesn't have to be right. It just has to look accepted. Think about how quickly trends spread. A single idea, repeated enough times, starts to feel normal, even if it didn't make sense at first, even if you questioned it in the beginning. Over time, the repetition wears you down, and slowly, you stop questioning. You start accepting, not because you're convinced, but because everyone else seems to be. Part 3. The silent pressure. Now imagine this situation. You're surrounded by people. A conversation is happening, and everyone agrees on something. But deep inside, you don't. You feel it. That small voice in your head saying, "This doesn't seem right." So what do? Do you speak up, or do you stay quiet? Most people choose silence, not because they don't care, but because speaking up comes with consequences. You risk being judged, you risk being misunderstood, you risk being isolated, and your brain sees those risks as threats. So instead of challenging the group, you adjust yourself to fit it. You nod, you agree, you blend in. And here's the part most people never notice. Every time you do that, you train yourself to ignore your own instincts. You weaken your ability to think independently, until one day, you stop questioning completely. Part 4. Herd mentality. When thinking stops, when enough people move in the same direction, something shifts. The group becomes more powerful than the individual. This is herd mentality. In a herd, responsibility is shared, which means no one feels fully accountable. And when no one feels responsible, people do things they normally wouldn't do. They follow faster. They question less. They react instead of thinking. And the larger the group becomes, the stronger the effect. At that point, it doesn't even feel like a choice anymore. It feels automatic, like you're being pulled in a direction, without fully understanding why. And the scariest part? Most people don't even realize it's happening. They believe they're thinking for themselves, when in reality, they're just echoing the crowd. Part 5. The Illusion of Control. Here's something that might change the way you see everything. People believe they are in control of their decisions, but those decisions are often shaped by what they see, what they hear, what others approve of, trends, opinions, social validation. All of it creates a subtle pressure, not strong enough to force you, but strong enough to guide you. And over time, that guidance becomes invisible. You stop noticing it. You stop questioning it. You accept it as your own thinking. But is it really yours? Or is it something you absorbed from the world around you? So the next time you see a crowd moving in one direction, pause. Take a moment and ask yourself, am I choosing this? Or am I following it? Because following is easy. It's comfortable. It's safe. It requires no effort. But thinking for yourself, that's rare. That takes awareness. And once you develop that awareness, you start seeing things differently. You stop being controlled by the crowd, and for the first time, you actually begin to think.